Uh-huh. Gracious God, creator of the universe, and yet the lover of my soul. Alpha and Omega, and yet I can call you friend. I don't have to beg you for anything, but I can thank you for everything. God, I thank you because this is the day that you have made, and I can rejoice and be glad in it. Thank you for this day of magnificence and glory and splendor. God, I thank you for life, health, and for strength. I thank you for soundness of mind. I thank you for peace, love, and joy. I thank you for the essence of you that envelops me right now from the crown of my head to the soles of my feet. We thank you for this day of manifestation. We thank you for the day of revelation. We thank you for the day of impartation. We thank you as you move in the midst of your people to bring us to the greatest times that we've ever seen since the foundation of the world. Thank you, Lord, that for this time and for this season, you've allowed us to be a part of your move in the face of the earth. I thank you, God, for the revolution that you're bringing forth, God, even in the midst of the earth right now. And I thank you for the opportunity to be a part of what you're doing in this hour, because in the last days, saith God, you said you would pour out your spirit on all flesh. And so now we thank you for the pouring out. God, I thank you for the rain and the move of your spirit. I thank you for fresh oil. I thank you for new wine. I thank you for the new thing that you're doing. I thank you now that it does spring forth. I thank you, Lord, that you've called us to be the head and not the tail. You've called us to be above only and not beneath. You've called us to be the lender and not the borrower. You've called, God, that our storehouses would be full and increase. God, I thank you because even I decree and declare that the people under the sound of my voice, even now, are moving in the might of your strength, not by might nor by power, but by your spirit. I thank you for those that are the sons and daughters of God that are called because they walk not after the flesh, but after your spirit. I thank you for the rising up of the people of your kingdom. I thank you that your kingdom come. I thank you that your will be done, even now in earth as it is in heaven. I thank you, Lord, because you are moving in the midst of your people mightily as never before. Raise us up, oh God, to the standard of what you've called us to be. God, I thank you for the standard of greatness. I thank you for the standard of holiness. I thank you for the standard of moving as the sons and daughters of yours, and not as vagabonds, not as those that never knew you, not as those that are confused and confounded, but God, those that know who they are in you. I thank you for the knowing. I thank you, God, for knowing you. I thank you for knowing your presence. Thank you for knowing your Holy Ghost power that gives us the ability to be successful. Your anointing that gives us the power to rise up and be called blessed. Thank you for that is in us. Thank you, God, for all things that pertain to life and godliness. Thank you because we are not confused. We are not deceived. And we thank you for that clarity of mind and the clarity of vision that allows us to walk forth as kings and queens, as princes and princesses in the kingdom that walk in the earth. We thank you that we are your beloved, and we rise up as the apple of your eye. We rise up, oh God, as those that you love with all of your heart. And God, we love you back. I thank you for soundness of mind. I thank you for soundness of spirit. I thank you that healing is our bread. Healing is our deliverance. By the stripes of Jesus, we're already healed. And we speak forth that healing even now for those that need it. Thank you, God, for every stripe that was taken. Thank you for the bruising. Thank you that he was wounded for our transgressions, bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him. God, with those same stripes we declare and we speak healing in Jesus' name. We give you glory, we give you peace, we give you honor, we give you blessing, we give you might. We ascribe all of these things unto you because they are yours. Thank you, the fruit of my lips giving thanks unto your name, ever giving you all that is yours. Glory, honor, power, dominion, majesty, it's yours. I decree it and I speak it In the mighty name of Jesus, it is so. Amen and amen. Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. I want to welcome you to today's edition of Yes You O Cubed, one-on-one, just me and you. I am your spiritual thought leader, Regina L. Stillman, and I'm so glad and happy to see every last one of you in the Lion's Den this morning. I tell you what, it's a good day to be alive. It's a good day to be here, and I hope that you are enjoying every single moment. Live your life, baby. Live your life. Don't just exist it, but live your life and make it a good day. Now, I want to appreciate you for coming in here on this fine day because it is Wednesday, April the 6th in the year 2022. And so listen, I feel real good down in my shondo. I feel good in my shondo, and I'm so glad for everybody that has made it here on this fine day. I appreciate the Lion's Den. I appreciate everybody that's here. You guys are just so precious. You're so special to me. I love you. I love you. I love you. I just don't know what I'd do without you. Now, let's get this party started. And you know how we start over in the Lion's Den. Now, I'm going to tell you, yesterday they were locking doors and carrying on. They were locking the doors and carrying on in that VIP section. And it was reported to me. Now, I'm not going to tell you who reported it, but it was reported to me that somebody had locked the doors. Now, the head usher is here on time today, and I want to appreciate that because it keeps down some of this mayhem that wants to get loose like the devil. Just get loose out here in the atmosphere. So this morning, and listen, I'm gonna tell you what, Tall Pumps came in and joined the church. She's the newest member. Literally, she's the newest member that joined the church. She went investigating, y'all. She went investigating to see who's locking the doors. She came in the door and went, listen, I see you, DJ Onyx Heart. Could it be? Could it be? Uh-oh, let me get some vibe. Diablo! Already. But no, this was yesterday. We came in with a little bit more order today. We came in with just a little bit more order today because the usher was on duty. Now, that's what happens when the usher is late. When the usher is late, all kinds of things jump off. When they see that nobody, I'd rather be a doorkeeper in the house of the Lord than to dwell in the tents of the wicked. Well, the tents of the wicked were loose on yesterday. We had a whole lot of pole dancing. We had a whole lot of stuff going on because the tents of the wicked, honey, didn't have a doorkeeper. We didn't have a doorkeeper. That's why I'm trying to tell y'all the ushers are important. Because listen, if you don't have the usher on the door on time, you might as well plan to dwell in the tents of the wicked. So Tall Pumps went out there to investigate. Listen, vintage, y'all reporting for duty. Y'all reporting for pole duty already. I just don't even know what to say. Y'all come in the door ready to report for pole duty. And so I see Vintage Sugar is here. Yes, SK8843. And I just want to say, Old Manager is here. Y'all coming in reporting for duty.
I just got to tell you, oh my goodness, poll, yes, Tall Pump. Somebody said you're not going to start, but okay. At the end of the day, I'm looking and I'm checking this out because you know what? I got off the stream yesterday and I chuckled to myself because Teresa Jones, yes, Teresa Jones has to be one of the most mild mannered, one of the most composed, one of the most consistent, one of the I mean, she's just level. She's just absolutely level. And I looked up yesterday and lo and behold, what had happened? Y'all had corrupted her. And I looked up and Lord Jesus, Teresa Jones was on the poll. But that's all right. We're going forth this morning. I'm going to come over here and look and see who is the winner of Grandpa Holmes's chair. And when I look out here, y'all, I look out here and I see some beautiful people that came on in to bring the love, soul, peace, and happiness into the Lion's Den so we could start this thing right. So let's go ahead and get started. And I look and I see, my goodness, who was the third person in the Lion's Den? Miss Fabulous, you did that. Thank you so much for coming on in. And yes, the usher was on duty. Teresa Jones, I'm trying to tell you, I was shocked, stunned, and amazed to look up and see you on the poll. Listen, that's the influence and power, that's the power of peer pressure. Now, I look over and who was the second person in the room? None other than Shelly Thunder. Come on up here. Shelly Thunder is the second person in the Lion's Den. Both of you, Miss Fabulous and Shelly Thunder, go ahead and put your lips, hips, and your fingertips right there on that love seat. Now, I got to put Shelly Thunder's picture up. Y'all notice I don't have a picture of Miss Fabulous, so I'm not purposely overlooking her. I just don't have anything for it. But there's Shelly Thunder, y'all. There's Shelly Thunder. And I want you all to give her that applause one more time for coming in. She was about 12:05 or 12:03. Where was she at? 12:03 in the AM. Shelly Thunder came on in with her lips, hips, and fingertips, but she didn't quite make it. Now, this is what I heard, and it was reported to me. This person that got Grandpa Holmes's chair said she made it just before she got hit by lightning. She made it just before she got hit by lightning. The winner of Grandpa Holmes's chair, none other than BTD Mom. Listen, I got King Coogee up there. Let me get him out the chair, y'all. Let me get him out the chair. And let's come on with the winner of Grandpa Holmes's chair, none other than Anita Harvey. BTD Mom, you did that. I'm on the wrong one. Stop that. Oh, side piece. My studio's being a side piece. BTD Mom, you did that, girl. You did that. Come on, let me get your props up here for you. Because you did it. You did it. You did it. You got your lips, hips, and fingertips in Grandpa Holmes's chair just before you were struck by lightning. Y'all silly. Y'all silly. All of this goes on in the VIP section of the Lion's Den. That's all I can say. Y'all come in bringing it. Y'all come in hauling. Y'all come in hauling jokes. Hauling, you know, y'all used to that other word, but I'm gonna leave that other word out, what y'all hauling. But listen, y'all come in hauling good energy, love, joy, peace, and happiness, and I appreciate you for bringing that to the Lion's Den. Now, come on here, come on. Don't you want to go? I want to appreciate, get that mod love ready. There is none other but these three beautiful ladies. Yes, STL's Angels. They come in every morning doing such a great job. We've got Shelly Thunder. Yes, that's my girl, and you know how she comes in. She comes in and makes her presence known. Thank you, Shelly Thunder, for all that you do in the Lion's Den. She's led by none other than a leader of the pack. Yes, that's the Rebel Inc. That's my old faithful. That's my day one. That's right. Get that mod love going. Get that mod love going. These ladies do it, and they do it well. So I just want you to know this is how we do it. Leading and bringing up the rear end of the situation, none other than the quiet storm herself. Michelle Browno. These three beautiful ladies, they keep me together. Listen, I had a major near-bout catastrophe just a few minutes ago, and the saints got me together. Whatever the weather, my hair stays together. Afro Sheen. I appreciate you guys and those three beautiful ladies, the three musketeers, STL's angels. I just want to appreciate you for all you do in the Lion's Den. Couldn't make it without you. Now, today, I want to kind of, we're going to get this thing going and we're going to come around and say good morning to everybody. But I want to get all of these announcements out of the way. On tomorrow, come and join me. Wouldn't you please join me tomorrow? I will be the special guest with Chazzy Licious is Cooking. Chazzy Licious is Cooking. We will be over there at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So for all of you that live in my time zone, that's 5 o'clock tomorrow evening. I will be with Chazzy Licious is Cooking. Now, you see what she said, boss parking only. She said, and you know, Twana's Twitch, I'm gonna tell you the truth. This is how we're networking in Twitch. I do not personally know this sister. She heard about Boss Energy from somewhere. I'm not exactly sure where she heard about Boss Energy, but she reached out to me. And listen, we're going to go over there and we're going to show her so much love. We're going to show her so much brotherhood and sisterhood. We're going to be there tomorrow at 6 o'clock p.m., 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. And she reached out to me and said, I don't want to interview you. I just want you to come in and talk to the people about Boss Energy. So listen, we're going to do that. We're going to go over the Chazzy Licious is Cooking tomorrow at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we're just going to share all kind of love from the Lion's Den. I want to see some lions in there roaring with me. Would you please? I want to see you come in and roar with me. And let's just share some love with Chazzy Licious is Cooking. So when we come bringing some love, y'all bring a few biddies with you. Would you bring a few biddies and bless the sister's house? I appreciate you. I absolutely do. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I will be announcing this again, if I remember, later on in the stream. But I did want to bring that to your attention. Chazzy Licious is Cooking tomorrow evening at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be a boss revival. It's going to be a boss revival, Nathan Lamont. The gift is in here. If y'all come with the poll, if y'all listen, if y'all come in this poor lady's room with the poll, I just don't know what I'm gonna do. I just don't know. You know, they say sometimes, you know, y'all gonna pull up. Come on, Tall Pumps. I didn't know you were saying pull up or poll up. But anyway, Rebel said, leave them polls at home. I can't take some people with me anywhere. She said, leave those polls at home. And that's what we're going to do, beloved. We're going to leave the polls at home tomorrow. And we're just going to have a conversation with Chazzy Licious is Cooking tomorrow, 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Won't you join me? Now, let's get this party crack-a-lack and let's get this party started, because you know how we do it over here. You know I like to hear the music. I got the music in me. I got the music in me. Come through, and let's go. Well, I see you, Lovey. This is how we do it over here in the Lion's Den. Get your coffee cups out. Get your coffee cups out. Get your coffee cups out. Because listen, it's time to have a little chat. It's time to have some conversation. So get those coffee cups out. And if you're Teresa Jones, get that teacup out and let's go. First and foremost, I want to come around and speak to everybody. My mother said, you don't come into a room without speaking to somebody. Speak to somebody. Jazzy, me, come on. I see you. Come on in the room. MCP812, I see you. Come on in the room. BTD Mom, I see you. The Gift, Nathan along, Lamont. I saw to take the poll along with you everywhere you go, and I got confused. I see you. Tall pumps is pumping tall. I see you. You know how to act in the streets. You know how to act in the streets. Come on, girl, and come on and go with me. Stacy 546, I see you. DJ Onyx Heart is a streamer. I want y'all to go over there and bless him real good. You know what I'm saying? Follow him if you're not following DJ Onyx Heart. I see you. SK8843, I see you. Matter of fact, he said he brought some act right today. We gonna see. Lovey54, I see you. Come through. The Rebel Inc. telling y'all got instructions from the boss. Leave your poles at home. I see you. Coming on up, and I'm looking and I'm checking it out. Who else is in here? Simply Amazing is in the room, y'all. Simply Amazing is in the room, and she is simply amazing. I see you. DJ, let me see, Lovey54. That's my girl. I so much love coming to you. Thank you for coming on in the room. Come on, come on, come on. Shelly Thunder, I see you in the room. That's my mod extraordinaire. Come through, come through. Thank you for coming in the room this morning, and so much love coming to you. Twanish Twitch is a streamer, y'all. She's a streamer, and I want you all to follow her. Soon to be affiliate. We're gonna push her over the top, because this child right here, she's making moves and doing things. You better ask somebody. I love her. Kim Possible 711 is in the room. Now, you know what that just brought up for me? You know, on Fridays, 12 noon Central Time, every Friday, 12 noon Central Time, y'all, we're right here, and we enjoy all that we glean from Good Grief. Yes, Good Grief gives us the hookup, y'all, and I appreciate, that's the wrong one. Let me come on down. Side piece. And so there you see, those are my girls, Crazy Berrytown and Kim Possible 711, every Friday, 12 noon, right here in this channel. Please come on and get some of this good love, some of this good energy, and give you a healthy journey as you go on this path of grief. Also, while I'm there, let me go ahead and put it up for my girls. Reboot. And they done brought the drunken uncle. He's up in there, y'all. He's there. Reboot is here. My millennials come every Monday at 9 o'clock. Yes, 9 o'clock Central Standard Time. Central Time. I'm just call it Central Time. So I want you to meet them, as well as my friends that come in here with me every Sunday at 6 o'clock p.m. Central Time. Those are my friends, Jay Bears, Royalty, Tyrone, and Jonna. They do it every week. I had to stop and get that station identification. And y'all get ready for Genius. I'm gonna run it again. Genius is on the way in May. Y'all check it out. Good to see you. Thank you, Kim Possible. Blessings to you. Now we're coming on up. Let me see. SK8843, I see you. Sheila Miles, I see you. MCP812 is my girl. So much love and all kind of hugs coming to you. I see you. Come through. Now I'm coming on up because I don't want to miss anybody. That's in the fold this morning. I'm looking and I'm booking. Teresa Jones, yes, T. Jones is in the building. Y'all have corrupted her. So good to see you, and get your teacup out, baby. I love you, sis. I love you. Now coming through and looking up and checking it out and seeing. I'm checking the list and I'm checking it twice. I'm going to find out who's naughty and who's nice. STL is coming to town. I'm looking and I'm booking, and I think I'm almost at the end here. I'm going up, moving on up. I'm moving on up, and I'm trying to see. Truck driver, that's my Mufasa. I'm so glad I didn't stop rolling and scrolling. Truck driver is in the room. He is the Lion King. I see you, my guys. So much mad love coming to you. And in case you didn't know, don't mess with STL, because truck driver's not having it. Don't try it. You don't want to try it. I see my girl. Oh my goodness, Joanna G98 is in the room, y'all. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. So much mad love coming to you. Now let me see. Let me make sure I got everybody. I don't want to miss anybody. I don't want to miss anybody. I don't know. I got some silliness on me this morning. I think that near mishap I had just a few minutes ago, I thought we weren't going to have a stream this morning because STL messed up and hit a switch that I should not have touched. That's why y'all got that little musical interlude in between. I had to have the engineer fix it for me. Is Mel Holiday in the room? If she's not, I just want to say good morning to Mel anyway, because yes, that's the usher that's on duty. Now, come on here. I'm gonna tell y'all something this morning. We're gonna have a conversation, and I got a feeling it's gonna get pretty animated, y'all. I'm coming down to make sure I didn't miss anybody that may have come while I was going through all my antics here. But you know what? I don't have a problem taking time to love on everybody that's in this room, because I love all of you. Yes, I do. I love all of you. And this is my time to appreciate you and call. This is my Kai Chick. Kai Chick is in the room. This is my girl. I missed you yesterday, sis. Come on in here. So much mad love coming to you. This is a supporter, and I just love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for coming in this morning. DJ Drew Williams is in the room. He's a streamer, y'all. If you're not following him, please get your whole life together and go out there and follow him. Thank you for taking time to come in the room, DJ Drew Williams. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Because listen, this is what I want to talk about today. While we slumbered, slept, and slobbered. Whew, y'all, while we slumbered, slept, and slobbered, there was so much that happened in the Black community. And I'm gonna talk about the Black community today. I got a good video that we're gonna look at the very end of the stream in our 8 o'clock hour, because we're talking about it's time to move up, it's time to move out, it's time to move on up a little higher and start living in the next iteration of yourself. Well, listen, let me tell you about the next iteration of yourself. It needs to happen because these folk out here in the streets are cutting up. It was don't let it be fried chicken. No, Twanna's Twitch. It ain't. It's not. DJ Drew Williams, are you here? I'm gonna start off on the mild side, and then we gonna get real righteous and ratchet, as Rebel says in her stream. We gonna get real righteous and ratchet, because when I got up and looked at what had happened was, while we slumbered, slept, and slobbered, all I saw was black folk out here clowning. Black folk in these streets clowning. So, you know, when after I looked at so many stories back to back, I was like, what in the world? Now, somebody said yesterday was a full moon. Hey, Dr. Dady Priest, that's my girl. The high priestess is in the room, y'all. The high priestess is in the room. If you're not following Dr. Dady Priest, I promise you're living beneath your privilege, because engagement matters. And this sister right here, she seems like my twin. I just love her to death. Please follow Dr. Dady Priest, and good morning to you. Now, I told y'all. So I got up and I was like, you know, I get up probably around that 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock hour and see what all has transpired overnight. Well, we started right off the bat in the church house. Yes, we started in the church house. While we slumbered, slept, and slobbered. Let me go ahead and get the devil set up, because the devil is in the midst. So we started in the church house, and then we gonna go to the comedy scene. Then we gonna go to the club. All of these things were in the stories of what happened. What had happened was, while we slumbered, slept, and slobbered, listen, folk cut up. So we went to the church house yesterday. The first place we stopped, you know, they have what's called April Call meeting in one of the largest, if not the largest, Black Pentecostal affiliation and association in the world. They're in what they call April Call meeting. So we started off nice and easy, like, you know how Tina Turner said, you know, sometimes you just want to start it nice and easy, like, you know, you just want to, and then you know. Well, you know, we started off nice and easy, like, and during the pandemic, if anybody recalls, there was just a devastating blow to leadership in some of these church denominations that refused to close their doors during the pandemic, and the saints were dropping like flies. Some of y'all might remember that, some of you don't. Well, it just cleared off the majority of the people that were in leadership. So we saw, I mean, bishops and leaders were just laying down left and right. You turned around, you might have 2, 3, 4 funerals in 1 week. These babies were laying down. You understand the words that were coming out of my mouth. A whole slew of them went to they were dropping, Rebel, baby, they were dropping. A whole slew of them went to another bishop's funeral, and all of them got COVID, and that whole slew fell out and died. So I ain't making this stuff up. This is real talk. This is real talk. So at the end of the day, you know, they had to replace all these individuals, and the head leader actually stepped down and said, I've had enough. You know, it's my time to go home and deal and enjoy my family, deal with my local church. Y'all can have all of this. I'm you know, deuces. So that bishop got out, another bishop came in, and so it was reported to me and all over the stations on yesterday in this lovely call meeting. They started out with a beautiful ceremony installing one of the last members of the general board. Then it got messy because the people from the general board, one of the bishops, and one by one they start coming out asking the chairman of the General Assembly who stole the money. How do we go from consecrating people into the office of the bishopric to alleging and accusing the other bishops of stealing money out the coffers? Well, as you can imagine, a whole heap and helping of confusion jumped off with that. And yes, Rebel, yeah, SK8843, shade. Now I'm like, now y'all coming down here to carry on your holy business, and the next thing I know, y'all out here accusing one another openly. Oh, Diablo showed up and showed out he refuses to miss church, Cassandra. Could it be? Diablo! Supposed to be carrying on business, and y'all come up in the headlines because y'all accusing one another of stealing money out the coffers. And at the end of the day, they said the bishop of the General Assembly just kept sidestepping the question and never would answer it. But the inquiring minds want to know, show me the money. I said, you know, this is not a good look, y'all. This is not a good look. And you can say whatever you want to say why people are not coming back to church. But how about this? How about this stuff right here? Why folks not coming back to church? And we talking about big money, 400 and upwards, 400K and up. I said, what kind of mess is this? Well, I thought, okay, so we gonna move past that. I'm like, Lord Jesus. It always comes down to money, Twanna's Twitch. It always comes down to money. And then they had nerve to say they are anxious about whether or not, if this isn't the chicken watching the hen house, whether there will be somebody to challenge the individual that they're accusing of stealing the money, because they're over the committee that oversees the people that can be nominated. Ooh, we talk about our local, state, and county and federal government needs to be revamped. Baby, some of these churches, they whole council and everything about it needs to be revamped. Why would you put the person over the oversight of who can get on the nominations and put them over that board? Well, of course I'm not gonna put anybody there that's gonna be viable competition to me. This stuff is just stuff I can't understand. Make it make sense. It just doesn't make any sense. Damon Blissett, the pastor's in the house. Come on in here. I read this story early this morning. Yes, SK8843. Lord help. Cause listen, you can pretty much guess if they clowning in the church house, you can imagine what they doing out here in the streets. So at the end of the day, now listen, anybody in the ATL, they brought up the second story. This too much, Kim Possible? This too much? Could it be? Diablo! Y'all standing up in public We don't care nothing about going behind, because when we get behind closed doors, ain't no behind closed doors. They say we gonna air this nasty, dirty, stinky laundry right out here in front of everybody, God and everybody. And next thing I know, honey, you're in the news this morning, Saints. You're in the news this morning, and it's not a good look. It's not a good look. In the meantime, at the ATL, T.I. out here showing his it was reported to me, Diablo is everywhere. Listen, it was reported to me. Let me pull this story up, y'all, because T.I. showed his good anger on yesterday, and I said, Lord Jesus, what are we doing? So T.I., I guess, was at a show, and at this particular show, somebody got to ragging and talking about him and Tiny. And Diablo was like, don't sit here and I got something for you.
You shall not pass!
Baby, I just want you to know, T.I. was in the midst. Listen, Kim Possible, you're in the ATL and you're embarrassed and disappointed again. They cavorted in this place. Now, I want to know, Kim, who gave T.I. a mic? Because he was not the comedian. The comedian was there doing the routine. Now, in the routine, the conversation and the topic went to T.I. and Tiny and the charges that have been lodged against them of inappropriateness. And so somehow another, I'm clutching pearls. Somehow another, explain it to me, Lucy. Explain it to me. Somehow another, T.I. got his hands on a mic. And you hear these two between T.I. on the mic from the floor and the paid comedian that's on the stage. And the next thing you know, baby, they were going back and forth on the mic. And T.I. told the man, listen, as long as you want to have this topic in your mouth, I'll stand here and I'll challenge you. We'll go toe to toe. We'll go whatever we need to do. And Tall Pump said it wasn't even about the charges being dropped. This is another instance of where the comedian is using real life situations and information and making jokes out of it. Now, y'all used to say, hey, no holds barred. Comedy is free speech. You should be able to say whatever you want to say. These folk are fighting back. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? They said, you shall not talk about me. You shall not talk about my wife. You shall not talk about my family. So then we have this whole debacle. Yes, a whole debacle. We had a whole debacle of a comedian versus, this was a versus. We have a comedian with the instant, you need, the video is out. That's what I was actually getting ready to look at. I got these, now some of these videos I'm not going to show, and particularly my third story, because it's triggering for some people that can't handle it. But at the end of the day, let me see if I can pull T.I. up. And listen, T.I. is going toe to toe. He said, look here. I'm trying to see if I can find it for you real quick, fast, and in a hurry. But at the end of the day, I'm trying to see, go out on my page. It's out there. Let me look and see. I want to make sure I get T.I. because it's about, there's Lovely T got about 4 different, it's in there. You don't even have to Google it. It is literally in my Discord under Slumbered, Slept, and Slobbered. I said, now, is this what comedy is coming to? Number one, I'm gonna tell you, this is STL. Listen, all the way down. You understand? You don't have to Google it. It's in my Slumbered, Slept, and Slobbered in my Discord, and you can see, because baby, the scenes go on. The scenes go on for what seemed like forever, because T.I. wasn't having it. Now, this is what, listen, I see you, Cassandra.
You shall not pass!
when you are at the point that you can just come up to somebody that's performing on stage and go off and take over and make a whole full spectacle. Now, at the end of the day, you know, this is what happens. And I'm not getting ready to go back to Will and Chris Rock and Jada and that whole scenario. But this is what happens when things are not dealt with. Because people right now feel like they are emboldened to do whatever they want to do, whatever they think they big enough and bad enough to do. You shall not pass. I will slap the taste out of your mouth. Oh, that the other Diablo. This Diablo has a mic and a weapon. You understand, Cassandra? Kim Possible. Folks have gotten real sensitive all of a sudden. Public news is always a source of conversation and comedy. It used to be, but I think they better rethink it, Kim Possible. It used to be, but at this stage and age of the game, these folk have lost their whole minds and they are going off. Now, this is one of the reasons why I'm saying, as we're talking, we need another iteration of ourselves, because we are on a path right now that at the end of the day, we got to reel this thing back, because this is just so far out of hand and so far out of touch with what needs to be happening. This is why I'm telling you, March has given you the instruction and the orders to march, and April is a time, baby, you've been in this mountain long enough. We need to listen. Black people need therapy. And Twana Switch, you hit a nail on the head that folks don't want to talk about. Black folk need therapy. And at this point, a lot of people need therapy, but I ain't talking about a lot of people. I'm talking to black folk. Therapy is needed. Therapy is needed. Nowadays, you can't say nothing about nobody, because you either gonna get sued or be slapped. And go ahead and sip your tea, tall pumps, because you said something right. What you come here for? Folks come to rock. They come to rock Daniel. They ain't playing. So listen, you know what? And this third story, I'm gonna let you all kind of deal with it on your own. But listen, this reminded me. There was a joke that we used to tell that I heard when I was a child. And so since I'm almost 60 years old, maybe some of y'all ain't heard it. It's so old as dirt, you may not have heard it. But this is what I felt like this morning. This is what I felt like this morning. This morning, something down inside of me, there was a joke that I heard when I was a child. And it said, the devil called God on the phone. And the devil said, God, I need your help. Yes, the devil, Diablo, asked for help. You understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Diablo asked for help. Diablo called God and said, I need your help. God said, what is it? The devil said, there's a small section in the black people section of hell that they just won't act right. And God said, what's going on? He said, every time I turn around, they put the fire out. I can't roast the people because they just keep putting the fire out. There's something about folks. There's something about, if you have this, and I'm going to go back to what Twana Twitch said, because that's what I felt this morning. These people, this small section over here, I mean, even the devil can't do nothing with them. Diablo's like, I can't do nothing with these folk because they all the way unhinged. I need the Lord's help to deal with these folk, even in hell. I'm looking at this and I'm saying, at the end of the day, when we get to the point that we are just openly confrontational and losing our whole minds and going off on folk, what's really going on? Don't talk about my wife, but it's okay to talk about someone else's. Condoning and condemning at the same time. And you said a whole lot right there, the gift, because some of the same people that before they've been joking and cracking on, then when you become the butt of the joke, all of a sudden it's off limits. But you've been cracking jokes on everybody else. That's how you've made your living. So this is where therapy for real, SK8843. STL, Cassandra, you said it was reported to you, God told Satan, stop complaining. It was reported to you that God told Satan, stop complaining. You created this mess. And that's even some of what we got to deal with for truth. For truth, these comedians have been cracking on people all this time. But now that you are the butt of the joke, now all of a sudden, y'all off limits. Y'all going on territory that's off limits. Well, it wasn't off limits when you was talking and you was up here cracking and everybody was laughing at your jokes that you were making about everybody else. So now listen, now that the shoe is on your corns and bunions, you want to come out here and cut and act up and act a fool. So at the end of the day, I'm like, you know, you reap what you sow. Do y'all understand that? You reap what you sow. You've been out here cracking jokes on people. And this is why I said, even for people that say, oh, I love dark comedy and I love, listen, and that's fine and that's good. I gotta stop the line and say, when you're talking about people, I don't care. It's not funny. It's not funny. So now that shoe is on your feet, it was reported to you that God said, Diablo, deal with it yourself. That's why you're down here. So at the end of the day, I want y'all to recognize this is some of the chickens coming home to roost that we have now created. But what we really see is the fact that we need therapy. Now, there was, and I'm not even talking about Chris's brother, there was another rant that went on yesterday. I don't know if y'all saw it, but this brother, he called everybody. He called Jada everything but a child of God. She's all kind of bees. She's all kind of hoes. She's all kind of, listen. And the children, he went on and got on the children and started talking about the kids and was just absolutely, totally inappropriate. And we got people out here pushing this and saying, you right, you right, you right. And this is where we've got to get the consciousness and the awareness of the whole entire community. We need the whole entire community to finally come to a point that says, I don't care, it's not funny, and I'm not gonna laugh, and you're not gonna get my money for a paid ticket. We've got to turn this thing around. BTD Mom, we can dish it out, but we can't take it. And you said it right there. We can dish it out, but we can't take it. Because some of these same ones, they're going back and putting side by side clips of their comedy routines and people that they've humiliated with the humiliation that they feel that they're now getting. So I'm like, at the end of the day, everybody needs to stop. Everybody needs to stop. But I promise you, you reap exactly what you sow. And there you have it. Now, the third story that is rocking, the third story that got people just twisted. I mean, folk are twisted. Who knew? Trauma is not a joke. Healing, please. That's what we want. Trauma is not a joke. Temper tantrums on display, Nathan. Watch what we say, but folk better show enough watch who they choose to walk up on too. Some folks about that life. Start by just not laughing at these crazy jokes. I got you. I got you. Tall Pumps, he gonna get sued. Don't worry. Cardi put that folks on notice. Cut the check. And in these days and times, it is what it is. So you might as well deal with it. But again, as SK8843 said, trauma is not humorous. Trauma is not comedy. And to keep utilizing it as such is, we're in 2022, y'all. It may have worked back in Richard Pryor's day. It may have worked for Red Fox. It may have worked, you two-eyed, bubble-eyed devil, fish-eyed fool. And it may have worked back then, but this is 2022. It's not working. So we got to come to a point where we got to figure something else out. Now, Goo knew. Goo knew, y'all. Do y'all know? How many of y'all went to Goo New's last concert? This one, y'all, it's out there. And people are still dealing with post-pandemic stress disorder. And you are exactly right, Pastor 711. You are exactly right. They're still dealing with post-pandemic stress disorder. Goo New was a rapper, Tall Pumps. Now, this one I'm not going to put up. I'm not going to put this one up on my, because some people may get triggered. You don't do comedy or jokes, period. I got you, Teresa. Okay, so this rapper, and I'm gonna let y'all go out there and watch the video, because it does show his corpse. Now, this is the story, Kim Possible. Go out and look at Slumbered, Slept, and Slobbered, and you'll see the story. We still dealing with post-slavery disorder. You telling the truth on that. So this rapper, he got shot and killed last month, and they preserved his body, right? He got shot and killed last month. They preserved his body, and if you haven't seen it yet, it's all over the internet. It's everywhere. And some people are saying, stop posting this because I'm getting triggered. They go on somebody's post. You read about that this morning, Stacy 546. It's everywhere. And so at the end of the day, you know, we were talking in Good Grief the other day, and we were talking about the different ways that we wanted to be buried, the different ways that we wanted to be remembered, right? So Gunu, who has a huge following for those that follow him and know about him, his mama said she was happy with how they put him away. She did. She said she did that on purpose. Simply amazing. She said, thank you for following. Excuse me. Thank you for following, Katrin. I appreciate you. You saw the video, Damon. You saw the video. Hello, Mariella Katrin. Thank you for joining us this morning. Simply amazing. Okay, so for those of you, I'm not going to show the video because there may be somebody that's welcome, Katrin. I'm so happy that you're here with us this morning. Welcome. So yes, some of you are saying you've already seen the video, but at the end of the day, it's out there in Discord for those that want to see it, because I don't want to trigger anybody. They shot and killed him last month. They preserved his body, and then the finale for his funeral service was that they have him literally standing up, propped. The corpse is propped, standing up on stage with the crown on, and they're playing his music in the background, and they're calling it his last concert. They are calling it his last concert. The audience is wall-to-wall people. You got folks in there, obviously, with cameras up, taking a picture. It was a party. It was a whole party. Listen, Rebel, you know how we were in Good Grief talking about propping you up on the organ. BTD Mom, I see you. You know we don't throw shade, we shed light. So at the end of the day, Tawana's Twitch, the last concert. So his finale concert is literally his corpse on stage with his music playing in the background, full blast, full on, and I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. Truck driver said that was crazy. Now what if he would have started to sing? Woo. Jonna CPW, good morning, sis. Come on in the room. Baby, it has taken the internet over. I'm surprised that y'all haven't seen it, but you stay on the internet today, you shall see it. I promise you, somewhere, somehow, you're gonna see this video, because this is probably his most attended concert that the man has ever had, because at the end of the day, everybody and their mama is watching this video. That would have been an awakening and a crowd clear if he had started to sing. I'm trying to tell you. You know, at the end of the day, wait a minute, you just went into Discord. Listen, Tall Pumps, watch the video and enjoy. Watch the video and enjoy. That's all I can say. Watch the video and enjoy something that in this day and time, it's just absolutely unbelievable, the things that we are doing in these days and times. You were in Minneapolis visiting your kids when George Floyd was everywhere. I got you. You read that they hoisted him. Stacy, they had to. Did you see the way he was standing? And then they even had draped apparently what was holding his corpse up there, got the arm in his hoodie and the other. I just looked at that and I said, is this where we're headed, y'all? Is this really where, are we really headed? Brown Eye 777, come on through, sis, come through. She is a streamer, y'all. I believe. Please follow her and be a blessing. And thank you for coming into Lion's Den. Now, y'all, put a 1 in the funeral expenses are going to, listen, funeral expenses are doing something like we've never seen before. Because Cassandra, I can promise you, for this spectacle that they created, somebody's paying some good money. Somebody, oh, okay, thank you, Brown Eyes. Not a streamer, but listen, this is my girl, y'all. I appreciate you for coming in here. Somebody paid some good money for this. Somebody paid for the venue. Somebody paid the DJ to run the equipment. Somebody paid the people to run the lights. Somebody paid, listen, that funeral home, let me tell you what, that funeral home is not mad. That funeral home is not mad in the least. That funeral home said, next, how many rappers want to come and have your last concert? Who else is coming? I need y'all to line up to the right over here. I need y'all to line up to the right. Every rapper that now wants to have your last concert. I love you, Stacy. You have a great day. Everybody that wants to have your last concert, line up right over here, and I got you. Now, if y'all, there's obviously a market for that type of send-off. There's obviously a market for that type of send-off. You saw a picture a year or so ago of a guy propped up on a drum set for the funeral. Listen, they're doing this everywhere. We kind of had this conversation, as I said, in Good Grief on the other week. Now, if you all, there was a crowd attending. Come on, and then SK, the place is packed. The place is packed. The place is packed. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? The place was packed. I'm just shocked, stunned, and amazed. And I'm like, okay, folks, what are we doing, y'all? Are we really doing this? Are we? So everybody that feels like you would attend. It's not whether you think it's right or wrong, because it's really all about you. Royal Confessions is in the room, y'all. Come through, Royal Confessions. So much love to you. Come on up in here. Now, I just want to know, if you would attend a funeral where the deceased was propped up in some kind of a position as if they were still alive, put a 1 in the chat. If you would attend that funeral, put a 1 in the chat. And at the end of the day, you know, the family is free to do and celebrate however they want to. But at the end of the day, this is all I can say. If you didn't know, and just like people online, thank you, Shelly. Just like online, we have the whole entire conversation that people are being triggered by this scenario. I see you, SK. No, thank you. Can you imagine people that show up that maybe didn't know what all was going to happen? Twanna's Twitch, I'm out. Cassandra, I'm gone. If you came in the room and you didn't know what was going to happen, and you just happen to come in here and this is what you got to deal with, I just can't imagine. I just cannot imagine. So you'll send your condolences. You want to be in your big truck. I hear you. Jonna says she's going. She's here for all the smoke, y'all. She's here for all the smoke. I want to see him propped up. I want to see him stretched out. Damon said, deuces, I'm out. You've seen it in magazines. Folks are in custom cars, staging in other positions. Listen, the folks are going forth in this hour. Now, this is the thing that, again, I'm gonna say, different people are triggered in different kinds of ways. And so the only thing that I would say would be, maybe you need to let your audience, before you have it, maybe, hey, One Reason is in the building, y'all. It's the gospel takeover. It's a raid, y'all. It's a raid. Come through, come through. Big Moochie.
Going out to the entire set.
Hey, I appreciate appreciate you, One Reason. I appreciate you. Come in the room. Welcome, Raiders. Welcome, Raiders. Welcome, Raiders. Come on in here. We're so happy to see you. I see you, Good Vibes Only. Come on in. I see you, Den Darn. Come on in. KB Browns, I see you. Sight Giver, come through. LaDawn 225, I see you. Sight Giver, I see you. Stormy Water 628, I see you. Lady Day 701, I see you. Miss Fee 07 in the room. Natty Dread in the Lion's Den, come through. Dalen 628, come on up in here, y'all. Come through, come through. I'm so glad to have you. And this raid is brought to us by One Reason and the Gospel Takeover. I appreciate you, LC 1976, Chopper 242, Michelle 22, Miss Frosty 60803. That's my girl. Uncle Diddy is in the room and he is a streamer. If you're not following him, please follow. Come on in here, y'all. This is awesome, and thank you for coming to hang out with Wins 2000 is in the room. Come through. Miss Robin is in the room. Come on in here, sis. So much love coming to you and to everybody that came over on the raid. So much love to you. Yeah. Big Moochie, baby. Thank you for coming in here, y'all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So at the end of the day, y'all, we were talking about Gunu, the rapper who just had the funeral services where he is his last concert. He's propped standing up on stage, y'all, as they played his music and had him perched as if he was giving a concert. That is trending this morning. And again, for everybody that said, deuces, I'm not coming, whatever the case may be, I tell you what, we seeing it all in these days and times. So at the end of the day, I have to say, we're seeing new situations. We're seeing new scenarios. We're seeing all kind of things jumping off right now in this day. Lady J 776, come on in here. So glad to have you. You are welcome in the Lion's Den. Now, Stormy Water 628, so much love to you, sis. So much love. Now, that's going to bring me to the conversation that I want to talk about once more and again today. Because at the end of the day, if we don't do something quick, fast, and in a hurry, because we act like we just done lost our whole black minds, y'all. We just have lost our minds up in this piece. And I'm like, how much longer and how much farther are we going to go until we see some change? So let's come here. And I want to deal with this idea, Tall Pumps, Twanna's Twitch, SK8843. They've been pushing this point hard. The black community has so much trauma. We've got to deal with the trauma. And instead of continuing to traumatize one another and get a one-up on in the trauma department, because listen, T.I. and the comedian, that's out of control. That whole story was out of control. ATL, what y'all doing? That story is out of control. When we look up and we see the situation that's going on in the church, it was reported to me this morning, and all of that foolishness and bishops are charging and alleging that other bishops done stole hundreds of thousands of dollars out the till. I mean, y'all, we doing too much. We got all of this going around. We need to deal with the trauma. Miss Feet, minds have been lost in its entirety. You understand the words that are coming out of my mind? Minds have been lost in their entirety, because this is some crazy stuff we talking about. This is crazy stuff that's going on out here. So I'm looking and I'm saying, okay, we need to deal. I see you, Tall Pumps, and I'm going to give it to you. Yes, Lord, we need you to fix it, because we in a terrible predicament down here. This stuff is crazy. Let's grow. DJ Classic 6 is a streamer and a partner in Twitch. She's in the room, y'all. She's in the room. Come through, and so glad to have you in the chat this morning. Thank you so so much, Queen. Good to have you. Now, as we look at Chopper 242, blessings to you. Come on in the Lion's Den. So much love to you. Baby, we got stuff we need to pray about for real, because this is some insanity that's going on. So at the end of the day, y'all, I'm going to take us back to where we started on yesterday. Now, again, this isn't for the purpose of being preachy, but I just want to deal with this concept. The whole idea, you've been in this mountain long enough, turn you northward. That's what we dealt with on yesterday. It's time to come into the next iteration of ourselves. It's time to come into this next iteration of being in existence, because there is a launching that's taking place worldwide. I'm telling you, there's a launching. All of the different commotion and calamities that we see going on, to me, as I said, it's just a matter of the same way that rocket ship to get into past the pull of gravity, to get into outer space. That first pull, everything's on fire. It's just, they literally put that capsule on top of a rocket, and it's because you got to get the momentum, you got to get the burn, you got to get the energy to its maximum so that you can break the pull of gravity. And what we see going on right now is nothing more than the heat turned up, and it feels like we're sitting on a literal rocket. But listen, at the end of the day, we're getting prepared and actually being catapulted, and the propulsion to push us into the stratosphere to break the pull of gravity. That's what's going on right now. It's time for us to break the pull of gravity. SK8843, let's move forward. It's time for us to move forward. We've been in this mountain long enough. So hey, Kim Possible, that was the topic for your Bible study on Monday night. Come through. T.I. in the ATL, you need to go. So, listen, LaDon, it's out there. You can go to my Discord, and you can see this argument that took place, this debacle that took place, the heckling that took place, because the comedian was trying to make comedy off of Tiny T.I. and their situation. And T.I. he wasn't there for it. He wasn't having it. So we got folk coming out the audience doing all kind of crazy stuff. So you can LaDon, just go into my Discord. It's out there. I want us to identify, I want us to recognize all of these things are speaking to us. We've been in this mountain long enough. Kimmy, come on, Kimmy Coco. It was a hot mess. It's not a good look. The church fighting over church funds after we go through the hollowed process of installing somebody to the bishopric so we can turn right back around in the next breath and start publicly accusing the brethren of stealing hundreds of thousands of dollars out the till. It's just crazy. It's all of this. It's a hot mess. And it's telling us it's time for us to stop the trauma drama. It's time for us to change the narrative. It's time for us, because listen, that is not who we are. That is not who we shall be. And even if it is who we were, those days are over. So we gotta, yes, Miss Frosty, fighting in the church. That was one of the headline stories this morning. Fighting in the church. Right after we got finished consecrating folk to the bishopric, we got to alleging and making allegations publicly. You stole, show me the money. There's $400,000 missing at the till, and you took it. So, it's just the roofs are on fire, Cassandra. The minds are terrible. It's a terrible thing to waste. Bring all the elements needed to balance. Now, see, I can tell she's in the Institute of Higher Consciousness, because over there, we talk about the elements and understanding how to balance the elements so we don't just go out of control. So at the end of the day, balance inwardly and outwardly. New iterations are available and needed, KB Browns. We got to do something different. Thank you, Cassandra. I appreciate you for that. Listen, Brown Eyes 777, all kind of, everything was jumping off this morning. But this is why I'm saying it's time for us to move. It's time for us to make a new narrative. It's time for us to change the scenario. And listen, It's in us. We have the power to do it. We have the ability. Now, SK 8843, Cassandra, Isaiah, these are two of the students out of the Institute. So I understand y'all having this conversation back and forth. Because at the end of the day, if you don't know how to counter fire, if you don't know how to counter fire when fire wants to take over, that's what we see manifesting in these people's lives. They do not have the balance. Come on, tall pumps. All my students are talking to me. If you don't have the balance, if you don't have the ability to even know what tools you need to balance, what counters fire, what elements counter fire, if you don't know how to pull those different counter elements forth to counter your fire when your fire's out of control, you're going to act just like these people are acting that we're watching. So this is where we need to pay attention. Yes, say that we need to balance these elements. Boss energy is our superpower. And y'all know that hey, that's my thing. Boss energy. If people could stop coming out of their, well, some people never got into boss energy, but if people could stop coming out of their boss energy to reduce themselves to come to something less than and make a spectacle of themselves, I promise you change will come. So at the end of the day, this is where I look and I say, it's time. Everything in your path is telling you it's time. And everybody that's under the sound of my voice, you're here by divine assignment and by divine appointment. You're not here on accident. I thank you, One Reason, for bringing the gospel take over to the Lion's Den. But I want you to hear and understand it's time to have a different iteration. We are stardust wrapped up in flesh. Hear me when I say that. We are stardust wrapped up in flesh. So we're made of the same atoms. We're made of the same energy. We have the same power. So the same way we see the splendor of the sun, which is nothing but a star and made of the same stuff that we're made of, I'm going to go back to what in Iron sharpens iron. Royalty, Royal Confessions came in on Sunday and we talked about this tag team style. Iron sharpens iron. She said, listen, we're going back to the DNA level of God. Y'all understand the words that are coming out of my mouth. The DNA level of God. God as creator. We are creators. God spoke and it was made. What you speak is what you make. What you speak is what you create. What you speak is what you bring forth. If you keep saying I'm going to have a bad day, guess what, beloved? You're going to have a bad day. We're back to the element of I'm dealing with life from the God DNA level. I'm dealing with life coming to this point of understanding that, listen, I am the actual offspring. Listen, when we talk about called by his name, it's no different than the whole idea. The same way my name is Stillman because that's who birthed me. That's the way I want you to understand yourself. God birthed you into this world and he birthed you with a design. He birthed you with purpose. He birthed you with an idea. He birthed you into this space and place. And baby, I need you to shine. The same power that a star has, the same energy that a star has. You have that same DNA. I need y'all to get that down in your shondo. You have that, baby, when you talk about nitrogen, when you break those elements down to those basic forms, you have the same elements and it's just stardust wrapped up in flesh. So I want you to come to the point where you get this idea. You don't have to be acted upon, baby. God creates the fruit of your lips. If you want something different, let your lips begin to create something different. Let your mind begin to create something different. Let your emotions come to a place of understanding all of your elements and how to balance. Because baby, we talk about it all the time. The basics of what I feel and understand my call and mission to be, to deconstruct the walls. Come on, we got to deconstruct the walls between the sacred and secular so that we can, what's my first point of order? Balance. You got to have balance and you got to know how to balance. So we can have balance so that we can have freedom, so that we can have success. That's what we're doing and that's what we're creating. It's time now for us to go ahead, make that shift, do your thing. You do you. I had an organization some time back, be you. Just those three letters. You be you. You be you. I don't need you to be anybody else. I don't need you to imitate. I just need you to be you and come forth in what God created you to be. You gotta have that alignment, Nathan Lamont. I see you, LC 1976. I see you, Brown Eyes. Come through bullseye all day long. This pride, this PRIDE, this Pride Alliance is relentless, and you're going to hear us roar. This is a season and a time where I need you. Been around this mountain long enough. I'm not mad. I'm not mad about you being around this mountain, because what did I say? They had to go back and get their covenants. They had to go back and get their contracts. What was the covenant? For them, it was circumcision. For you, I want you to identify what are your covenants? What are your covenants with yourself in life? What are your covenants with yourself? Y'all talking about making covenants with all these other people. Some of y'all need to reconnect back to yourself. What are the covenants that you've made with yourself in life? Then after they went back and circumcised themselves, they met the covenant, they met the contract. Then they had to heal. Sometimes I'm telling you, before you can move on to your next iteration, baby, you're going to have to be still for a minute and heal. That's why we're talking about the trauma. That's why we're talking about trauma drama, because we just keep on trying to move on someplace else, and the people are not healed. Baby, when you come up and start slapping folk, you're not healed. When you find it okay to tell and crack a joke on somebody that's destructive and hurtful, you're not healed. When you come and you start heckling the people and taking you're not healed. We're looking at a whole bunch of people that are screaming and hollering all day long for us to look at and say, I'm not healed. Now, this is what I want to say, Sight Giver. Instead of killing the people and instead of killing the wounded because they're not healed, we've got to move forward so that we can bring healing to the folk that need to be healed. We need to be a hospital, baby, not a kamikaze center. Listen, it's like instead of killing the folk and either we kill them or we let them watch them self-destruct and kill themselves. We've got to come to a point of a different iteration of ourselves so that we can heal the land. Heal the land. Y'all waiting for God to heal the land. God waiting for you to heal the land. Y'all ain't ready for me. Y'all waiting on God to heal the land. He said, I've empowered you with splendor. I've empowered you with light. I've empowered you with knowledge. I've empowered you with all of this. You heal the land. You understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? You heal the land. So this is where we're coming into another iteration of ourselves, and we're saying, okay, I am literally stardust. I'm not just talking about figuratively. And we talked about this on yesterday. Come on, you just said this, Kimmy Coco, because listen, the same word is out there. This energy is being released on the land. Medea said DNA don't lie. It doesn't. So know and understand that God's DNA can't possibly lie. Come on and talk to me. Listen, Sight Giver, go ahead and throw your shoe, because I ain't gonna stop. I ain't gonna stop. We gonna talk about this because it's time to heal the land. I get no pleasure out of listening and watching these crazy incidents unfold just so we can have fodder to talk about. No, I'm talking about why we need to change. I'm bringing up issues of how this has got to stop, and especially in the Black community. Come on, y'all. We're better than this. Come on. We're greater than this. Listen, I need you to walk through that open door like your ancestors are opening and holding the door for you. Walk through that door like your ancestors opened it, because they did. They didn't open it for us to come in here and act a fool. They opened that door for us to go to higher heights and deeper depths, as the old folk used to say. I need you to take this to the next level. I need you to take this exponentially. I'm not talking about 2 + 2. I'm talking about 2 × 2, or 3 × 3, 4 × 4, 5. I need you to do this exponentially. Somebody said, well, listen, 1 can put 1,000, 2 can put 10,000. I'm ready for that exponential. Do y'all understand the words that are Christ is waiting for you, Christ to come out of you. You better talk, Royal Confessions. This is what and Christ means anointed. Christ is not identifying an individual and a person. Christ literally is interpreted the anointed. And so this is what I want you to understand. Who is the anointed? Y'all keep talking about Jesus. Listen, you are the anointed. You are the appointed. You are that has been touched and formed and fashioned as a son of God. You have been fashioned as a daughter of God, as a child of God. And come on, let's come out of immaturity, because children of God. But I need somebody to be married. I need the bride. I need the bride. Come on, I need the bride that's ready for the bridegroom. I need that maturity that's ready to marry, that's ready to enjoy, that's ready to connect, that's ready to be called by the same name, because we's married now. We's married now. I need some folk to grow up and mature and come into a place of marriage where now not only what that says is an edict and law, but what I say is an edict and law too. Why? Because I'm married now. Y'all ain't buying what I'm selling. The same way the king makes a decree, the queen can make a decree also. Am I talking to anybody? I need you to understand, yes, Twana, we're greater than this. I need you to move into that greater phase. I need you to move into that greater level. Now, this is what I want to show you. This is what I want to show you, because this blessed my whole life. There's a whole nother iteration. There's a whole nother reality, Miss Frosty. There's a whole nother reality. Come on and pull that truck over, truck driver, because we talking this morning. There's a whole nother reality that we need to walk in. We've got to stop this penny ante mamby bamby foolishness. We need to take the big leap. I told somebody the other day, baby, come big or go home. Come big or go home. But we're not going to keep with this same foolishness over and over again. And it's not going to take us 50 years to do it. It's not going to take us a century to do it. It's happening. We tell people all the time, we're not the in crowd. We are the ing crowd over here, because it's happening. This is what, this is what we got to do. This is a time where I'm not talking to you and you and you without including myself. I said we have got to create a different reality. Am I talking to anybody in here? We have got to create, and it's on us to do it. I'm just waiting on God. No, God's waiting on you, beloved. God has empowered you. He's given you the ability. You shall receive power. You shall receive the ability. This is what I want you to understand. When you begin to walk in your boss energy, when you begin to walk in your power, when you begin to walk in what God, your purpose, your design, your passion here on earth, when you begin to walk in that level, at the God DNA level, baby, I'm telling you, nothing and no one can stop you. Hear me when I say it. Come on, Star Slimmer Rose. Listen, nothing can stop you. I need you to get that in your Shonda. It's now move. Come on. I told you March. March is a command. March is over. We're in April, y'all. It's time to do something. March winds, April showers often bring May flowers. It's time to produce. It's time to produce. We're not just talking about something and keep on coming with this same old, same old. But what did I say? We got to deal with the trauma first. We got to deal with getting in balance. We got to deal with, and Dr. Dady, I saw you balance is what you're talking about. I saw that in your stream on yesterday. Balance. Actually, it's the second step. The second step in the boss energy process, that path. You got to align for balance. You got to do it. You just can't get out here willy-nilly and all out of sync. You've got to align for balance. Stardust wrapped in skin. It's the God in me. Now you got it, Twana's Twitch, and you're talking my language. It's stardust wrapped in skin, and it's the God in me. Y'all ain't buying what I'm selling. And we have made God look so weak, so wimpy, so bad, so poor, so sad. I'm barely making it. I can barely making it. I just don't know. Listen, and I'm tired of that too. Rise up, creators. I see you, Nathan Lamont. Rise up, creators, because when you talk about being created in the image of God, it's not 2 eyes, 2 ears, a nose, and a mouth. If it is, where is his left eye and his right eye? No plate under the sun. You cannot spatially. God is a spirit. So if I talk about being created in God's image, the created in God's image is the fact that God is a creator and he made me a creator too. He creates the fruit of my lips. Y'all, come on here. We are God's created. Come on here, Nathan. A boss goes from victory to victory. A loss just equals a lesson. Come on. And I've said that there's no such thing as actually a loss. When I talk boss energy, a loss becomes a learn. That L in the L column is not a loss, it's a learn. And I think King Coogee brought that to us some time ago. A win is a win and an L is a learn. It is not a loss. Because every time I didn't come out on top, I learned something. So it's still not a loss. Somebody needs to hear that. Your L is not a loss, it's a learn. Because you still learned something. And woe be unto you if you didn't come out on top and you didn't learn anything. Baby, you in trouble. But your L is not a loss. Your L is a learn. I need you to get that. Come on, brown eyes. I need you to get that down in your shondo. A L is a learn. I never lose. I always win. And see, that's a difference in mentality for the folk that are out there. Oh, I lost that one. Oh, no, I didn't lose any of them. I learned. I never lose. Y'all ain't ready for me because I'm at the God DNA level. Come on and talk to me, somebody. Now, as we come into the process of changing, I want to share this little, and it's a real simple little video. And this is how we're changing. This is how we're doing something different. At the end of the day, I appreciate what happened in this scenario. I'm going to share this screen and I want you all to look at this. There's a story and what happened. Then darn, I see your coffee cup. Get your coffee cup out. Come on, Kim Possible. Come on with that. I want y'all, listen, understand we're moving in boss energy. I don't espouse to any of this other kind of religious living, any of these other kind. Listen, I need you to move in boss energy and be very, very clear about who you are and what you are and where you're going and what you're about. I need you to be very, very clear so that we can have a different experience, because these days and these times, baby, is bringing us to something different. I want you to move in something different. I want you to, hey, I'm looking for something different. I'm experiencing something different. Listen, all of that old stuff didn't do nothing for me. But teach me, it's only going to get me so far, and then it's going to let me down. Am I talking to anybody in here? But I want you to come to the point, even as was said, when I understand that I'm stardust wrapped up in human flesh, and it's the God in me. When I shift my mentality, and how much power does my God have? Listen, there's no enemy that can withstand him. There's no power. There's no, I don't run around here. Y'all run around here looking for the devil. I really don't look for the devil. I do that in the stream. Could it be? Because people resonate so well to the devil. I don't run around looking for the devil because the devil can't do nothing to me. Everybody out here, oh, yes, no. The devil is defeated. You tell me how something that's defeated is going to win over me. And you tell me how the God in me that is all powerful can succumb to the devil outside of me. Y'all help me make that make sense. It doesn't make sense. You're talking out both sides of your neck. So I don't even run around looking for the devil. For all the devil folk out here that you just get so, I don't waste my energy. And guess what? I'm a winner. I'm not going to waste my good energy chasing the devil and stomping on the devil's head when I could be walking down the path to victory and success. I'm going to use my energy walking down the path to victory and success than trying to run around trying to stomp on the devil's head. Somebody ain't ready for that, but that's okay. You'll get it after a while in the sweet by and by. You'll understand that. You'll understand it better by and by. Barbara Hardy, come on in here, sis. I love you. Come through, come through. That's my girl. I love you so much. Now, this story, when we talk about the idea, boss energy, teamwork, and BTD Mom put this up the other day, and I saw it. And BTD Mom, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Boss energy, teamwork. This situation was that there was a weightlifter, this young black girl that was in weightlifting competition. And at the end of the day, when she finished her first lift, they came and told her, because she had beads in her head, they came and told her that unless she got the beads out of her head by her next lift, she was going to be disqualified from the competition. Now, I want y'all to look at this picture because this blessed my whole life. What happened? What had happened was when the people heard that she was going to be eliminated if she didn't get that out of her head by the next lift, everybody, and let me see if I can get this to play, y'all. Everybody from everywhere. And it wasn't just black folk. It was everybody. Let me put it back in. Let me come out. Okay, let me see if I can get that. This is what happened, y'all. This is what happened. When they heard that she was going to be disqualified if she did not get those beads out of her hair, everybody, black, white, everybody. I'm gonna play that one more time, and it's just showing, because this is what we're getting ready to do. This is what we're getting ready to walk in. This is the level that we're at right now. This is the level that we're at right now. I see somebody in distress. It doesn't matter what color I am. It doesn't matter anything about it. That's one love. Y'all understand the words that are coming out of my mouth. So that she could be able to participate, rather than saying and just leaving the person to themselves. And isn't it so sad that she didn't get to compete? No. We're not gonna leave it at that. We're not gonna leave it at just talk. We're not gonna leave it at lip service. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? We're not gonna leave it at just, don't you hate what happened to her? Oh, don't you just feel so bad about what happened? No, ma'am. No, we're past that time. We're past that energy. We're past that space. When I see that my brother, when I see that my sister is going to be eliminated from being able to compete in this thing we call life, when I see that my brother or my sister is going to be left behind, when I see that what my brother or my sister has to bring to the table and is about to be completely eliminated, I see you, boy. I see you. One reason I see you walking out. But at the end of the day, everybody working together to make this thing happen. Everybody working together so that she could win. Everybody working together. This is what I want us to look at. And I get you on the walking out, but this is the only thing I'm going to say. One reason is that sometimes in this life, the powers that be, and I'm going to say, yes, ma'am, yes, sir, white supremacy, hatred, all of them, they banking on you walking out. They don't care about you walking out. And I'm gonna just call a spade a spade. Y'all know how we do it over here. This is yes, you, O cubed, one-on-one, just me and you. And listen, I take this coffee, no cream, no sugar. I take this coffee strong and black because I tells it like it T-I-E-T-I-Z, tis. I can tell you there have been many instances, one reason, where I've walked out in protest. I've walked out just a person of one. But this is a thing I came to learn. Sometimes they waiting on you to walk out and cackling and laughing all while you take your lips, hips, and fingertips out the door, because you still are not going to win the prize, and it's still not going to change anything. Somebody has to stay in the midst and say, no, listen, I'm going to sit right here and I'm going to tell you with everything that's in my shando.
You shall not pass!
You understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Somebody's got to say that, you know, and I'm going to say that even to the extent of voters that say, I'm not going to vote. I'm just going to walk away from the whole system. They don't care about that. They don't care about you taking your vote and going somewhere, because they still going to do their dastardly deeds. Somebody eventually has to come to a place where we begin to understand there's unity, there's power in numbers. There's something that we can do if we all stand together, but stand against. Don't fall down, don't fold, don't collapse, but stand against and speak up and speak loud. I'm not afraid to speak. I'm not afraid to talk. And basically what they did, and I respect your position to the highest, and everybody has to be persuaded in their own minds. I'm almost 60 years old, and I'm gonna tell you what, at almost 60, I have learned the hard way. They don't care about you walking out the door many times. They're planning on you doing it. They're banking on you doing it, because then they get to run away like a runaway freight train with no resistance and no opposition. We got to think about both sides of the coin. So at the end of the day, listen, I'm gonna go back to Kenny Rogers, and he's one of my favorites. You got to know when to hold them. You got to know when to fold them. You got to know when to walk away. You got to know when to run. And you never count your money while you're sitting at the table, because there'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done. So at the end of the day, no cream, no sugar over here, Kim Possible. We take this coffee strong and black and tells it like it T-I-Z-Tis, because I want us to understand there comes a day when you got to stand up and resist. You got to stand up and resist. And I understand, resist the devil and he will flee from you. I'm not running from you. You gonna run from me. I ain't running from nobody. Now, at the end of the day, I feel like when we see these people coming together, that's what I want to highlight. I don't want to get sidetracked. I want to highlight the point. The highlight point for me is the coming together of the people, the coming together of everybody as one, the coming together of everybody as one solid unit, the coming of everybody together to say, listen, this is how we do it. This is how we counter your fire. This is how we counter your fire with earth. This is how we counter your fire with water. This is how we counter your fire with the elements, and come out winners. And come out winners, y'all. And come out winners. You understand the words that are coming out of my mouth. Come out winners, because we all win. Because in unity and oneness, one love, we stood with this sister and we made this thing happen together. That to me, y'all, that is a win. That's a win. That is a win. So at the end of the day, and I hear y'all stop the whole show. I hear y'all and strength in numbers. Strength in numbers. So the idea, but they didn't actually, it wasn't I hear you, I see you, and I feel you. One reason, I feel all of that. But at the end of the day, this is what I'm saying. When we come together, they didn't do anything but do what they needed to get her. They did not cut locks. They didn't do any of that. Just a matter of, to me, there is a difference. To me, there is a difference. And I'll agree and I'll accept where you're coming from. But I'm gonna tell you what, y'all keep walking off and y'all keep leaving. Y'all gonna miss a whole lot of food off the table. Y'all gonna miss a whole lot of food off the table. I'm just saying. I'm glad they came together, but the rule was inappropriate. Now that's what you deal with after you get a chance, Rock Rose 59, and I agree with you 100%. You got to know the timing, you got to know the placing, you got to know when you can do what you can do and where you can do it. We want the whole rule changed. Absolutely. We want the whole rule changed, but they're not going to change the rule right now. Right now, this baby is here to compete. Right now, this baby is here to participate. And because it's not now, I think that really, if they had said you got to cut your hair, I would have dealt with a different reality. I would have had a different experience. And again, I'm making constant assessments and processing the situation. However, at this point, if it's something that I can comply with, and it's not going to come against my person, it's not going to take any skin off my nose to take some beads off my hair. So at the end of the day, I got to count up the cost and say, are you asking me to cut my hair? Are you asking me to take some beads out of my hair? To me, there's two different realities going on there. If you're asking me to cut my hair, that's a different reality, because you've now invaded on my person. You asked me to take some beads out of my hair. Those beads are not a part of me, and it's not going to kill me to take these beads out of my head. And if everybody will stand up and change, and everybody will stand up and work together for the change, I believe that we can make some differences up in here. And so I hear you one reason. I hear you. I'm gonna let that go, but I'm gonna say at the end of the day, I want to see us move forward. And this is a place where, as we talk about and identify what is appropriate for a time, what's going to be most effective at a time, you got to actually do some assessment, because the same tactic does not work every time. This is something that Black folk, as for whatever reason, we have, and we get locked in one tactic, The same tactic does not work every time, and the same tactic is not appropriate for every situation. So this is where we've got to begin to sit down and say, okay, let's talk this through. Let's walk this through. Let's make this make sense. And how far can we go with it? And what's going to actually work in this particular situation? So at the end of the day, you know, I'm not here for it, and I appreciate you. Keep right on talking. Keep it right on putting your comments in there. I appreciate it. I embrace it. At the end of the day, I got to say, once you get your foot in the door, then you can change what's out there. Your voice and roar can be heard. And this is probably a conversation we need to have in the Black community, because we don't know how to get our foot in the door. We standing outside the door hollering and screaming, and nobody ever gets in. Somebody's got to get their foot in the door to make the change. And I don't know, you know, and I'm not talking about writing and tearing the door down and we coming in whether you let us come in or not. No, ma'am, no, sir. That to me is not the answer. We've got to have tact. We've got to have diplomacy. We've got to have understanding. We've got to have some levels of, once I get it, how do I go about getting where I want to be? How do I go about getting to where I want to be? I need wisdom, I need knowledge, and I need understanding. I need all three of those working in my mind. I need all three of those working in my space. I need all three of those working in my energy. Wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, because I can have the knowledge, but if I don't have the wisdom and the understanding, baby, I'm still gonna be sitting outside the door, and that's why almost 400 years later, we're still sitting in some of the same positions that we're sitting in. So when I look at the boycott, when I look at the sit-in, when I look at all of the things that Martin Luther King, and mind you, he was just put out there as the figurehead. There were people that were doing civil rights movement stuff before Martin ever showed up. He just got put out there as the face of it. But at the end of the day, that worked back in the 60s, and y'all still trying to do that in 2022, and it's not working. It's not working. It's 2022, and y'all doing the same tactics because that's what Martin them did back in the day. Baby, this ain't Martin's day. This is 2022. I just, you know, I look at that. I look at that, and I'm like, Chazzy Licious is cooking. She's in the room, y'all. She's in the room. I'm looking, and thank you so much. She is a streamer. Let me put this up because my sis is in the room. My sis is in the room, and so here we go. I appreciate you so much. Chazzy Licious is cooking. Baby, we're going to be in there with Chazzy Licious is cooking on tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to be in the room with Chazzy Licious is cooking and Boss Parking Only. I am so honored. I'm so privileged to be in the space with this sister on tomorrow. And we coming in talking about boss energy, Chazzy Licious. We coming in talking about boss energy. And I'm so glad for the invitation. 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. in my Central Zone time for those of you that are in my neighborhood. And listen, we bringing the Lion's Den on tomorrow, Chazzy Licious. We bringing the Lion's Den. The Chazzy Licious is cooking, and we gonna talk about boss energy. Because listen, at the end of the day, I want us to have some understanding. I want us to have, and thank you for this opportunity to really talk about it. Play them at their own game. And I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna make that announcement again. But thank you so much, and thank you for coming in the stream today. So much love coming to you. You got to learn how to play them at their own game. Get your foot through the door first, then darn. And for whatever reason, Black folk just they don't want to hear that. We gonna kick it down. We gonna do this down. And at the end of the day, until you get your foot in the door, you're not gonna change nothing. Understand the words that are coming out of my mouth. You're not gonna change. Martin eventually had to get inside, and they eventually were able to do that with strategy. And that strategy in the 50s and the 60s still only got them so far. And we still, right now, today, right now, we can still hold those same same signs up that we were holding in the 50s and the 60s. We can still hold those same signs up in 2022. There's a problem. I see you, Michelle. Can't wait. Come through. We're going to be there. Mindsets can be stuck sets for life. Transform your mind and transform your life. And come on, can I say this? Yeah, I'm gonna read it. But what happens when you get in the door and they still only allow you to stay in the room if you conform? Now that's, and I hear you. And listen, I can tell you by experience, there were some things going on in a scenario at the city government level that I was able to be a part of as a manager in that system. I promise you, I may not have got all the concessions that I wanted, but believe you me, when I sat down and talked to the mayor, when I sat down and talked to the city administrators, when I sat down and talked to the other managers, and at that time I was 28 years old. I was the youngest manager in the city, Rock Rose 49. And listen, I can tell you, when I left that space, I still got respect. When I left that space, there were things that were changed. When I left that space, there were things that shifted another way. And listen, I can say, and I'm not trying to toot my horn, every place that I've gone, I've had the opportunity to change the energy in that space. And you got to get inside, Rock Rose. And then when you get inside, you got to know how to act, what to say, how to say it, when to say it, the method. Come on, there's a whole lot of things that need to be taken into account. And sometimes when we get in the door and still start talking ignorant. We get in the door and still start talking stupid and acting like, oh my God, do you have any home training at all? Do you have any? And something, DJ D-Man is in the house. This brother he is an absolutely phenomenal streamer and DJ. I want y'all to follow him. I love you. That's my brother right there. And I promise you, Rock Rose 49, you may not get all the wins, but if you go in and do it the right way, you're going to get some wins. You will get some wins. And it takes everybody coming in and giving something to make that change. No, I ain't changed one bit. One reason they didn't make me change. I didn't change one bit, and I'm not going to change. So at the end of the day, you all have to make a decision as to what you think is conforming, because I'm going to be who I'm going to be wherever I go, because I walk in boss energy, and that boss energy garners respect. That boss energy, because listen, I'm going to be truthful, I'm going to be transparent, and I'm going to be the same. Now, I also understand the ability. I used to say I can be a chameleon because, and I don't mean that in a bad way, I can be a chameleon because listen, I've been out the streets. I've been out in the streets in the whole house. I've been out the streets in the crack house. And guess what? When I go in there, I know how to be a chameleon because I don't come in there in a way that they cannot embrace me. I'm going to come in the way that they can embrace me. I've been at the Fortune 500 and the top 100 boardroom. And guess what? When I go in with the millionaires and the billionaires, I'm going in with my boss energy. I'm not going to change, and I'm going to speak truth to power. And at the end of the day, I've never gone anywhere that's required me to change, and I've never gone anywhere where I've had to pretend to be somebody that I'm not. But I do know how to be a chameleon, and there is a difference. You got to fit and blend into the space where you are. And if you don't know how to do that, and I'm not saying change and conform, but if you don't know how to fit into the space where you are, you will be dismissed. You will be dismissed. Do y'all understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? So there is something that is to be said. And do y'all realize, even before they had the sit-ins, they took those kids and they taught them. They took those kids and they taught them what to expect. They put them in situations on how to react and how to respond. They put them in situations to give them the experience of how to carry themselves when they got there. And this, I feel, is something that's missing in these days and times. We expect people to know how to operate in certain settings with certain groups of people, but you have not been trained. Nobody has told you. I'm telling you, my manager, come on, Mildred. That's my cousin. I see you. My manager took me under her wing and she taught me. Some of y'all need some folks to teach you. And some of the folks you got teaching you don't know any better than you do. But you listening to them as if they got knowledge and wisdom and understanding. That's all fine and that's good. But when you get in a situation and you can't produce, when you get in a situation and they shut you down, when you get a situation and they put you out, you don't have the training. You don't have the expertise. You don't have the exposure to somebody that's been there and knows what they're talking about. So, you know, this is something that we need. And hey, I believe in everybody pulling somebody under your wing. I believe in that. But if you're talking to folks that don't have the experience themselves, if the blind lead the blind, everybody's going to the ditch. That's what the Bible said. If the blind lead the blind, everybody's going to the ditch. And sometimes I just sit back, hey, I just pull up and, you know, after I done said one or two things and folks don't want to hear, I just watch you go on to the ditch. But listen, the blind leading the blind, all of y'all going to the ditch. KB Browns, you got to know the rooms that you walk into. And see, this is where old, you know, he said, listen, the old folks, I call the old and the young shall go forth together. But the old folks have the ability to speak some knowledge into the young folks, and the young folks have ability to speak some things into the old folks. We got to listen to each other. But there's a lot going on where the young folks don't want to hear anything the old folks got to say. And there's some wisdom, there's some knowledge, and there's some understanding that we can pour into the young folk, but the young folk don't want to hear it because I got a way. And the Bible said there is a way that seemeth right unto a man, but the ways, the end thereof is death. Now y'all come on with me. And at the end of the day, some of these tactics that y'all using, the end thereof is dead places because it doesn't produce anything. But the saints don't want to hear anybody, and that's okay. I'm gonna let you go on your own, but you got to know the room that you're walking into, and there's truth in that. And if you don't know the room, I sat in a situation where somebody, I'm talking about boss energy right now. I sat in a situation where somebody didn't even know how to read the room out here on Twitch. And I'm like, man, there's all kind of signs, there's all kind of symptoms saying A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, but the person in charge didn't even know how to read their own room. I'm just trying to tell you. I'm just trying to tell you. I'm just trying to tell you. And I love everybody, but I'm talking about boss energy. Boss energy does have a level of being sensitive. You got to know when the cloud is moving. Some of y'all, the cloud has moved a long time ago, and y'all still under that old cloud trying to hang back in something that is no longer effective. You're stepping on your toes. Listen, you have to be better regarding being a chameleon. And KB Browns, that is not selling yourself out. For anybody that feels, oh, spiritual thought leader, she's a sell. No, I'm not a sellout. Everybody knows exactly what my positions are. And can I say this? Some of those management people in upper management still call me. Some of those people, I'm no longer in those organizations. They still call me when they need something. They still want my input. They still want something. And I'm not saying that to toot my own horn like I got some kind of ego trip going on. That's not where I am, because boss energy is not an ego trip. But I'm telling you, when you come with the goods and you show yourself consistent, transparent, truthful, and connected to where you can understand and read the situation as it's going on, they will still, after you're long gone, they'll still come back to you and ask for your help. And y'all wondering why you leave someplace and your phone never rings again. I'm talking to somebody. So, you know, I just want y'all to hear, I got you. And the job situation can be testy, and it can go both ways. At the end of the day, I want you all to come to a point where we got to understand what is my best move. And I'm gonna go back. You'll add that it's taking a bill being written in Congress to stop employees from telling black women that they have to change their hair in order to work at their job. I got you. It's called the Crown Act. Yes, we've talked about that here, Rock Rose. We've talked about that right here in this stream. You guess that's what bothers you. I get you. But change is coming, and the change comes when we move a certain way. Listen, I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna get out of here. Hey, Malcolm and Callie, those are my babies. I'm gonna do this for my baby. Y'all let me digress just for a second, because this is my baby. He loves this. Could it be? The devil. Baby ain't nothing but that old slimy devil. And tell Malcolm, I did that for him. I love my babies. So listen, this is where I want to say, I feel like in Twitch and all of these online spaces are an excellent place for us to start connecting, for us to start training, for us to start understanding. This is an excellent space to do it. But I'm gonna say it, and I'm gonna say it for real. Many of us need some training, and I don't have a problem with getting out there and putting one foot of the other and just moving forward. But these are some places that let's turn some training spaces in here. Twana's Twitch, I love what she's doing. She is creating a space where we can get training. What we're doing is how we can be informed, how we can vent out and vet. What are the steps that we need to take? What are the actions that we need to look at? How can we come together and how can we unify? I don't even want to have arguments with one another, and it's not really an argument, but how can we get on the same page even here in Twitch? We can't even get on one page up in here. And not that you have to see it my way, not that I have to see it your way, but how do we work the process and create a process to where we can come together on what is a win and what constitutes a win? And an idea that says, if I don't get everything that I have on my sheet, I'm just gonna walk away. No, that's not the answer. That's not the solution. Or if this or that or the other, we've got to understand how to create a process and to create a process that works. We talked about this some time ago. Scrum. We looked at Scrum and we said, okay, we understand that an agile environment understands. They put something out there. They don't wait until your phone is at its perfection. They put it out there, but it has to be functional to put it out there. Then within Scrum, you look in the agile environment and you understand. So we've got to adapt. We've got to modify. We've got to ask questions. There's so many things that you have to do. And maybe I need to go back to that. Maybe we need to go back and talk about agility and what agility is and processes and putting processes in place. You can't just go out here willy-nilly. You got to have a process. You got to have a strategy. Even Martin Luther King and the early civil rights movement, they didn't just go out and do something. They sat down in meetings, they planned, they strategized, they put something together, then they went out. And we don't want to do that. We want to just run out the door and start doing some stuff. And at the end of the day, we've got to deal with how we can put a process, agility, come back with new iterations. We're not going to sit here and wait until everything's perfected, but it does have to be functional before you run it out the door. Woo, are y'all hearing what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, I want us to come to a place where we get results. We just keep running around. We've been in this mountain long enough. We need results. And much of the stuff that we've been doing, even these last several decades, man, we started with Michael Brown and we still ain't seen results. We went one by one and name by name after Michael Brown all the way up to George Floyd. And here we are, George Floyd in 2020. And now in 2022, we still ain't seen no results. But y'all keep doing these same old tired methods and they're not working. I love y'all. Agile, come on, agile or waterfall, both are good processes and both can get results. Now, see, this is what I'm going to say. So at the end of the day, this is what I'm going to say to that Twana's Twitch. So I say agile and I say waterfall, and some of y'all are absolutely clueless to what I'm talking about. Some of you had some rough idea of what I'm talking about, but for many of you, you have no idea what I'm saying. And see, this is where I say first natural, then the spiritual. The same way we get stuck because we don't keep up with current processes. Baby, there are certain things in the processes of the natural that we can take over into the spiritual. Some of y'all need to go out there and do some research. Do some research on agile. Do some research on waterfall. Do some research on that because it will help us to move to another iteration, and y'all still trying to do that antiquated stuff out of 1963. It's old, it's tired, it's ineffective. Get you some agile, get you some waterfall, and let's move this ship. I said ship, S-H-I-P, I said ship. So this is, without a vision, the people perish. And my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. And I'm going to tell you what, in this environment, we have a whole lot of lack of knowledge. and the inability to really say, okay, that didn't work before. How can we shift? Yes, I said now I said shift. I said shift and ship. Let me get some enunciation and get all of the consonants and syllables and diphthongs, all of that together. So at the end of the day, we need more training. We need more understanding. We need more knowledge. We can't just run after every shiny thing. Every shiny thing is not gold. Everything that glitters is not gold. We need to read more and we need to follow less. Come on, I'm trying to make it plain, Shelly Thunder. Because listen, some of this stuff is fool's gold. And y'all out here just running and flocking. And I'm just looking and I'm watching. And at the end of the day, you know, I'm looking and shipwreck is coming. I already know shipwreck is coming. You know, and this is my thing. I'm willing always. Chazzylicious, thank you for the opportunity. And I hope you didn't come in my stream today and be like, oh Lord God, I done got the wrong person. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna be the same way in Chazzylicious. I'm gonna be the same way over there as I am over here, because I got to tell y'all know how we do it over here. We take this coffee strong and black, no cream, no sugar. We take this coffee strong and black because we tells it like it T-I-Z-Tis. I love my community. Come on, Kiki B, come on in here. I love you. I love my community, but I gotta speak truth to power. I gotta speak truth to everybody. I can't just come in and whatever, because this is some true stuff. So let's start right there. Let's start right there. Oh, thank you so much, Chazzy. So much love coming to you. Let's start right there. Listen, somebody needs to go out and get some information on Agile. Go out there and get some information on Waterfall. Don't just get the information, but study it to understand it. Study it to understand the process. Because I'm telling you, process is where we lack. Process is where we fall down. Process is where we're deficient. And copying something that you see somebody else doing is not going to get you where you need to be. You got to understand the process and why you're doing the process that you're putting in place. You got to understand it. You can't get out there and just try, no, you got to understand the dynamics of that process, how it works, why it works, the things that work against it. You got to understand that. Agile, Waterfall, go out there and study it. Let me tell you to start right there. Go out there and study it. Agile, if you don't know how to spell it, A-G-I-L-E, Agile and Waterfall. Go out there. This is boss energy I'm giving y'all today. This is some real boss energy I'm giving y'all today. And I hope y'all love me after it's over. But I need us to come to another level of understanding. Agile, Waterfall, understand the process. Let's look at what works. Let's look at what it takes to build a team. Let's look at what it takes to make a team that works. We talked about that on last week. What does it take to make a team that works? Not just a team, but a team that works. A team that's effective, a team that's efficient. Sometimes you got to cut the fat. Woo, sometimes you got to cut the dead weight. Am I talking to anybody? It's not about numbers, it's about efficiency. It's about effectiveness. And you got to pay attention. And listen, that beloved requires a different level of management and understanding. Please hear me when I'm saying that requires a different level of management and understanding. And we're going to win. I promise you, we're going to win. We're winning. We're winning, but we're winning from people beginning to understand we got to change. Listen, the old way of doing things, it ain't working no more. And I'm just gonna just lay that out there, lay that bare, and just lay it out there for what it is. The old way of doing things ain't gonna work. It's not gonna work in 2022. It's just not. Y'all can go out and try it if you want to. You can try to revamp it. You can try to resuscitate it. You can try to revive it. Those old ways of doing things are not gonna work in 2022 and beyond. And if that's where you're going, you know, your days are numbered and your time is limited. Now, come on, Chazzylicious. You said we're absolutely winning. Please come together for our community. Healing is necessary. And that's all I got to say about that. Come through with that. You gravitate to boss energy and you feel it. Come on. I love you, sis. I love you, sis. Now, again, I think, are you coming on today at 11 o'clock, Chazzylicious? Are you coming on today at 11 o'clock? let me know, and we'll be up in there. So at the end of the day, I love everybody. 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you. 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let's go over there and show some love and shower some love on Chazzy-licious on today. She'll be on 12 p.m. Eastern, 11 o'clock Central. But at the end of the day, we'll be there tomorrow. For those that may not be able to make it today, please join us tomorrow evening, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Boss parking only. Boss parking only. If you ain't coming with boss parking energy, listen, don't pull up. It's boss parking only. Oh, she's cooking turkey wings today, y'all. Turkey wings in the house. I love you, sis. Listen, this is why, oh, come on, truck driver, you're so precious. This is why you love me, because I love you. You teaching me something. And that's what I want y'all to get, something that you can use in life. I want you something to teach and share. And you're teaching me as well. That teaching opportunity goes both ways. It's not just me teaching you, but you're also teaching me, and I'm open to it. I'm completely open to it, beloved. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, I'm gonna say this one last time, and I'm gonna get ready to get up out of here. We're a few minutes over. I'm not gonna apologize, I guess, because listen, we're holding this space because it's time to hold this space, and I'm doing what God's called me to do. I feel very clear on that. I'm moving on to the new iteration of me. I want you to move on to the new iteration of you. It's time for all of us, every last one of us. It's time. We've been in this mountain long enough. Now turn and go northward. So at the end of the day, but don't go out there without having information. Don't go out there half cocked. Don't go out there half loaded. Make sure that you're clear, and make sure you're clear on the assignment. Make sure you understand the information, and make sure you understand what you're dealing with and how you're working. Hey, show me what you're working with. We can get out of here. I love y'all, and thank you to everybody. One reason, thank you for that raid, sir. Thank you for that raid. I appreciate you so much. You have been such a blessing to the Lions Den and a personal blessing to me. Thank you for coming in here. And listen, I tell people all the time, we don't have to see eye to eye to walk hand in hand. We don't have to see eye to eye to walk hand in hand. No matter what, my hand is still there, and I appreciate you. Now, listen, we're getting ready to get up out of here. Iron sharpens iron, KB Browns. That's the way we do it over here. Iron sharpens iron. And Rock Rose 49, I have enjoyed you inputting and inserting in the conversation. Thank you so much, and I appreciate and I acknowledge and I honor every word that came out of your mouth. Absolutely, you are on. Listen, all the time, one reason, you my guy. You are my guy, and I appreciate you. That's my bishop, y'all. That's my bishop. Thank you, Browns. If anything else, and I tell people this, and thank you for saying that, Brown Eyes 777. I tell people, I get excited. I talk loud just because that's my personality, and people call that preaching. I consider myself to be a teacher. I consider myself to be an educator in my own way. And so this is where, thank you for saying that, because I want it to be educational, in that I want you to take something that you can actually apply it to your life and make a difference. So that's where we are. That's the way we do it. LC 1976, I appreciate you. DJ D, man, I love you. Hey, you got the power, man. You got the power. You got the boss energy, and I love you. Please, please follow my brother. Don't go out there like, come on, don't go out there like that. Please don't go out there like that. Please don't go out there like that. We're so much greater and so much better than that. So Chazzy, you said you so loud you've been told they listen, I want folks that are not afraid to speak up, show up, talk up, do your thing, do your thing, do your thing. Well, I feel for my brother, and I feel for my sister. This has been another edition of Yes You, O Cube. It's one-on-one, just me and you. I am your spiritual thought leader, Regina L. Stillman. Listen, y'all, I love you, I love you, I love you. Don't let the talk fool you. No matter how rough and gruff I may sound, baby, I love you. Yes, I do. Now, at the end of the day, I want y'all to come on here in some boss energy. Today at 12 Eastern, if you get a chance, I want you to go over and check Chazzy-licious out with me. I will be there with her tomorrow. Once more and again, I'll be there with her tomorrow evening, 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we're not talking about anything but boss energy. I want to meet you there. Now, come on and follow me, because I'm everywhere, y'all. I'm everywhere. I'm ever which aware, as the old folks used to say. I'm wherever, whichawhere. Follow me out there on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Patreon, Twitter, Twitch, Anchor, Discord, and more. I'm out there, babies. And this is our mantra. I don't have a spirit of fear. I don't have a spirit of intimidation. I got power. I got love. I got a sound mind. That's the way I operate. And I am all powerful in love. That's your mantra too, if you'll just accept it. Now listen, we're not just talking about change. I want you to be the change. And as a matter of fact, all my streamers that are still here, put your information down there. Be the change. We're going to be the change because we're coming together. There's no division here. We're not divided. But listen, we give love, mad love, and respect to everybody that's in the Lion's Den, and we are committed to being the change. Please copy that raid message. Thank you, Shelly Thunder, because we're going somewhere to share some love someplace else. Now, at the end of the day, you're not alone. You are not alone. Okay, it's us, you, me, we all. This pride, this PRIDE, this Pride Alliance is relentless, and you're going to hear us roar. Now, with that, I want to once again say thank you to One Reason. Man, this is my brother. I love him. I love him. I love him. This is my brother, and I want to appreciate him for that awesome raid on today. And at the end of the day, thank you, One Reason, and the Gospel Takeover crew that came with him. I love you so much. You didn't have to do it, but you did. Thank you for the biddies, KB Browns. That's my brother. That's my brother, and I love him, y'all. I love him. I want to appreciate my mods, the Rebel Inc., Shelly Thunder, Michelle Browno, come through. Mariella Katrina, Mariella Katrina, thank you so much for Katrin. It might be Katrin. Let me pronounce your name correctly. Thank you for the follow. Subscriber Stacy546 for resubbing. Thank you for that. And again, one more time for One Reason and the opportunity to be a host to your crew. Thank you so much. I love you all, and you know how we get up out of here. Peace for your journey.
You're my brother. I feel for my brother.